Nikola Tesla sat alone in a cold New York hotel room, surrounded by silence and shadows. In a moment of pain, he burned years of his scientific notes, hundreds of ideas that could have changed the world. He was broke, forgotten, and heartbroken. The man who once dreamed of lighting the planet without wires had become invisible to the very world he tried to illuminate. But this is not just a story of sadness, this is a story of vision, courage, and a man who refused to think like everyone else. Welcome to the incredible life of Nikola Tesla, the man who gave us alternating current, radio waves, wireless power, and the dreams of the future. This story will help you learn English, improve your listening skills, and understand one of the greatest minds in history, all in a simple and clear way. Tesla was more than a scientist. He was a dreamer. While others worked for money, Tesla worked for humanity. He imagined a future of clean energy, communication without wires, and machines that could think. Some of his inventions came to life. Others were too advanced for his time. But every idea came from a place of passion, persistence, and pure imagination. In this video, we'll explore Tesla's story from his small hometown in Europe to the grand stages of America. We'll learn how he rose to fame, fell into poverty, and rose again in memory. You'll hear about his inventions, his struggles, and his unshakable belief that the world could be better. And most of all, you'll see how his story connects to your own journey. If you want to improve your English while discovering powerful stories from history, this video is for you. So grab your notebook, open your heart, and listen closely. Like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another story that inspires you and helps you grow your English skills. Are you ready? Let's begin the story of Nikola Tesla, the man who lit the world with ideas. Nikola Tesla was born on a stormy night in 1856 in the village of Smiljan, in what is now Croatia. As lightning struck the sky again and again, the midwife whispered, "This child will be a child of darkness." But Tesla's mother, calm and wise, replied, "No. He will be a child of light." Those words would become a prophecy. From a very young age, Nikola showed signs of a powerful imagination. He could memorize entire books and solve complex math problems in his mind. But his real passion was electricity. As a boy, he would watch storms for hours, fascinated by the light in the sky. He believed nature was full of secrets, and he wanted to discover them all. His mother, Duca Tesla, was his first true inspiration. Though she had never gone to school, she was a brilliant woman. She invented household tools, memorized long poems, and encouraged Nikola to think differently. She understood her son's mind better than anyone else. She gave him his first tools, and with them, Nikola built his first inventions. His father, Milutin Tesla, was a priest and writer. He wanted Nikola to follow in his footsteps and join the church. But young Tesla had other dreams. He wanted to become an engineer, someone who could build machines and change the world. As a child, Tesla had strange experiences. He often saw flashes of light before his eyes and had vivid visions. Sometimes, he could picture an invention so clearly in his mind that it felt real. At school, he could do complex calculations without writing anything down. His teachers didn't know how to explain it. He also faced challenges. Tesla was very sensitive to sound, light, and even people's emotions. Crowds made him nervous. He avoided loud places. But instead of hiding from the world, he used these sensitivities to observe everything more deeply. One day, as a teenager, he read a book that would change his life, The Son of the Scientist by a Serbian author. In it, the hero creates a machine that brings energy to the world. Tesla thought, what if I could do that in real life? That question became his mission. When Tesla was 17, he became very sick, so sick that doctors thought he would die. But during his illness, he had a vision of an invention, a motor that ran on alternating current. This idea was completely new, and no one had done it before. Tesla believed that idea saved his life. He recovered, and began his journey. This was just the beginning of a story that would electrify the world. As Nikola Tesla grew older, his mind only became more active and more restless. He once said, "I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men." Tesla was different. He chose a life of solitude, dedicated entirely to thought and discovery. He studied engineering at the Austrian Polytechnic School in Graz. At first, he was a top student. He barely slept, often working through the night while others rested. His professors were amazed. Tesla could memorize entire textbooks and solve equations without writing them down. He didn't just learn, he absorbed knowledge like a machine. But this powerful mind came with a cost. Tesla suffered from strange and painful episodes. He had intense sensitivity to light and sound. Sometimes, he would fall into a trance and see flashes of light, followed by visions of inventions, symbols, or complex machines. His senses were so strong that he could hear a clock ticking from several rooms away. A drop of water falling on the floor could disturb him for hours. He also had a rare ability, visualization. Before building anything, Tesla would design it entirely in his mind, every screw, every wire, every movement. He called it picture thinking. While other inventors used trial and error, Tesla's designs were often perfect on the first try. But life was not easy. After several years of intense study, Tesla suffered a breakdown. His health declined. He dropped out of university and disappeared for a while. His family feared for his future. His father, seeing his pain, finally gave Tesla his blessing to pursue engineering. Tesla moved to Prague to continue his studies, but he never completed a formal degree. Still, he kept learning on his own, reading, thinking, experimenting. He believed that education was not about certificates, but about curiosity and imagination. One day, while walking through a park, Tesla suddenly stopped. He picked up a stick and drew a diagram in the dirt. It was the first sketch of his alternating current motor, the machine he had first imagined during his illness as a teenager. It was as if the idea had been waiting for the right moment to return. Tesla knew this invention would change the world. But first, he needed to go somewhere that could make his dreams real. He needed to go to America. In 1884, Nikola Tesla arrived in New York City with just 4 cents in his pocket, a small bag, and a letter of recommendation. That letter was addressed to one of the most famous inventors in the world, Thomas Edison. The letter read, "I know of 2 great men. You are one of them. The other is this young man." Tesla believed America was the land of opportunity, a place where his ideas could become reality. He went to work for Edison, repairing and improving electrical systems. At first, the two seemed like a perfect match. Both were brilliant, both driven. But they were very different. Edison was practical. He believed in direct current, DC, electricity, which flowed in one direction and was already being used in homes. Tesla, on the other hand, dreamed of alternating current, AC, a system that could travel long distances and power entire cities. Edison thought AC was dangerous. Tesla thought DC was limited. One day, Edison promised Tesla $50,000 if he could fix some problems in his DC systems. Tesla worked day and night, and succeeded. But when he asked for the money, Edison laughed. "You don't understand our American humor," Edison said. Tesla quit. It was a painful moment, but also a turning point. Alone in a new country, with no money and few contacts, Tesla took small jobs digging ditches just to survive. Yet even then, he never stopped thinking. At night, he worked on his AC motor, improving the design in his mind. Soon, his ideas caught the attention of businessmen. One man in particular, George Westinghouse, saw Tesla's vision. Westinghouse was a wealthy inventor and entrepreneur who believed AC was the future. He bought Tesla's patents and offered him a deal that would finally give Tesla the chance to prove his system to the world. Tesla had crossed an ocean. Now, he was ready to bring light to the world. But first, he would have to win a war. On one side was Thomas Edison, the respected inventor and businessman, who had built much of America's electrical system using direct current, DC. On the other side was Nikola Tesla, the newcomer with big dreams, and his partner George Westinghouse, promoting alternating current, AC, as a better solution. Edison wasn't just skeptical, he was angry. He had invested millions in DC, and Tesla's system was a threat. Edison began a campaign to turn public opinion against AC. He said it was dangerous and could kill people. To prove his point, he held public demonstrations where he electrocuted animals using AC. It was shocking and cruel, but it created fear. He even helped invent the electric chair, which used AC to execute prisoners. He wanted people to associate Tesla's system with death. But Tesla and Westinghouse didn't fight back with fear, they used proof. In 1893, the U.S. government had to choose which system would power the world's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, a giant international fair visited by millions. Edison's company bid higher, but Westinghouse and Tesla offered a cheaper and more powerful solution with AC. They won. When the fair opened, the world watched in amazement as over 100,000 electric lights lit up the night. Tesla's AC system powered everything: lights, moving sidewalks, fountains, and even early electrical appliances. For many people, it was their first experience with electric power. Tesla became a star. The fair was called the fair that lit the world. But Tesla didn't stop there. Just a few months later, his AC system was chosen to power Niagara Falls, the first major hydroelectric plant in the world. It was a dream come true: clean, renewable energy traveling miles to power cities. Even Edison had to admit defeat. AC had won. Tesla had proven that his system could power the future. But he wasn't interested in money or fame. While others celebrated, Tesla looked forward to the next big idea. The war was over, but his real mission had only just begun. He wanted to change the way the world used energy, again. Without wires. Without limits. For everyone. Nikola Tesla believed the future would be wireless. He imagined a world where energy moved through the air, just like sound or light. In his mind, there were no cables, no batteries, only towers that could send power to homes, ships, or entire cities without a single wire. Many people laughed at the idea. But Tesla didn't care. In 1898, at Madison Square Garden, he shocked the audience by controlling a small boat with a remote control, a technology no one had ever seen. He called it a teleautomaton. People thought it was magic, or even mind control. But it was science, Tesla's science. He believed that if he could control a machine without wires, he could also send electricity and information the same way. Tesla began working on his biggest dream, the wireless world system. It would send not only power, but also messages, news, music, even images, across the globe. Years before anyone imagined the internet or smartphones, Tesla was already building the foundation. With support from investor J.P. Morgan, Tesla started building a huge tower on Long Island, New York. It was called Wardenclyffe Tower, and it reached nearly 200 feet into the sky. Tesla worked day and night, convinced that this tower would change the future. But trouble was coming. J.P. Morgan discovered that Tesla wanted to give energy away for free. No meters. No bills. No profits. Morgan pulled his funding. Without money, construction stopped. The press turned against Tesla. Scientists called him a dreamer. His tower stood unfinished, a giant skeleton of hope. Eventually, Tesla had to abandon the project. In 1917, the U.S. government destroyed the tower, afraid it could be used by enemy spies during World War I. Tesla's dream of wireless energy was gone. His greatest idea, too advanced, too idealistic, was buried in silence. But even then, he did not stop dreaming. He once said, "The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine." And history would prove him right. After the fall of Wardenclyffe Tower, Nikola Tesla's life slowly faded from the spotlight. He was once the most talked about inventor in America. But now, newspapers called him strange. Investors stopped listening. The world turned its attention to newer, louder names. Tesla, however, remained the same, focused, private, and deeply committed to his ideas. He moved from one New York hotel to another, often unable to pay the bills. Hotel managers allowed him to stay because they admired him, even as he fed the pigeons in the park and walked alone through the city streets. Tesla loved animals deeply. He once said he felt a special connection with a white pigeon that visited him daily. "I loved that pigeon," he said. "As long as I had her, there was a purpose to my life." But behind his quiet habits was still the mind of a genius. Even with no lab and little money, Tesla continued to write, design, and think. He spoke about wireless communication, clean energy, flying machines, and even a death ray, a powerful weapon he claimed could end all wars. Some dismissed it as fantasy. Others feared it. He received awards in his later years, including a special honor from the American Institute of Electrical Engineers, but the world had moved on. He had given everything to humanity, ideas, inventions, visions, and received very little in return. In 1931, on Tesla's 75th birthday, Time magazine featured him on the cover. For a moment, the world remembered. Letters of admiration poured in. Scientists praised his work. But the attention didn't last. Tesla died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel on January 7, 1943, at the age of 86. A maid found his body. He had passed away in his sleep, with only pigeons for company and a drawer full of forgotten dreams. The world didn't realize what it had lost. But the story of Nikola Tesla was far from over. In the shadows of history, his light would begin to shine again. After Nikola Tesla's death, the U.S. government seized many of his documents and notebooks. What secrets they held, no one truly knows. Some believed they contained powerful inventions. Others thought they were the writings of a man who had gone too far. For years, Tesla's name faded into history. Schools didn't teach his theories. His inventions were credited to others. But slowly, like electricity in a quiet wire, his legacy began to return. Scientists studying radio, robotics, and energy systems discovered something shocking: Tesla had been right about almost everything. He had designed the first real radio before Marconi. His ideas about remote control became the basis for drones. His visions of wireless communication became real through smartphones, Wi-Fi, and satellites. Even his thoughts on renewable energy and the Earth's magnetic fields were decades ahead of their time. He inspired inventors like Elon Musk, who named the electric car company Tesla in his honor. Universities and engineers around the world began to study his forgotten patents. His experiments became models. His notes became guides. The world had finally started to understand the man who dreamed enlightening. Today, Tesla is seen not only as a brilliant inventor, but as a symbol of what it means to dream without limits. He reminds us that true genius is often misunderstood, and that progress sometimes begins in silence. His life teaches us something powerful. It's not about being the loudest voice, it's about being the clearest vision. Tesla once said, "Let the future tell the truth, the present is theirs, the future, for which I have really worked, is mine." And now, the future is filled with Tesla's fingerprints, from clean energy to artificial intelligence, from wireless technology to space exploration. Nikola Tesla didn't just change the world. He imagined the one we're still building. Nikola Tesla lit the world, not just with electricity, but with imagination, courage, and vision. He was born during a lightning storm. He died alone in a hotel room. But between those two moments, he changed history. Not for money, not for power, but because he believed that knowledge could make the world better. He taught us that even if no one believes in your ideas, even if you fail, even if you're forgotten, you should still create. Still dream. Still build. Tesla had no fortune. He had no family of his own. But he left something greater, a legacy of light. And today, his inventions live on in our homes, our cities, and our hands. So what about you? Do you have a dream? A strange idea? A goal no one else understands? Then you're just like Tesla. Don't let fear stop you. Don't wait for permission. The world needs your light, just as it once needed his. Like this video and comment below, which part of Tesla's story inspired you the most? Was it his brilliant mind, his fight against Edison, or his dream of wireless power for all? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories that will help you grow your English and grow your life. Let's keep learning, together. Do you want to improve your English 20x faster? Whether it's grammar, conversation, or fluency, we have the perfect material for you. Click the link in the description or the first pinned comment and take your English to the next level.